It all started in the quiet corridors of Ridgewood High, where the loudest voices often belong to the cruelest hearts. Maya was never one of those voices. She was the kind of girl who entered a room without making a sound, who sat in the back of every class, whose hands were always busy sketching or writing in the corners of her notebooks. She wore the same simple chain every day, a delicate silver necklace with a tiny charm in the shape of a phoenix. To anyone else, it was just another piece of jewelry. But to Maya, it was the last gift her late mother gave her before passing away in a tragic accident. It was her connection to courage, her symbol of rising no matter how hard life hit her. Maya had been through more than most students her age. After losing her mother, she spent years learning to manage her emotions. That grief didn't just go away. It stayed in her bones, but she turned it into strength. Through hours of disciplined martial arts training with her uncle, a retired army instructor. He taught her not only how to fight, but when to walk away. Her training taught her humility, peace, and control. But Ridgewood High didn't see that part of her. To most of her classmates, Maya was just the shy girl with headphones and an old backpack. The problem started when she got assigned to a new table in the cafeteria, near a group of students known for their loud mouths and louder egos. There were 3 of them: Corey, the ringleader with a smug grin, Brielle, always filming their pranks for her followers, and Marcus, the one who laughed the hardest but thought the least. They noticed Maya because she was quiet. And in their world, quiet meant weak. The first week, they mocked her clothes. The second week, they scribbled things on her locker. Maya said nothing. She remained calm, keeping her emotions bottled up like her sensei taught her. Control is strength, her uncle always reminded her. But then came the moment they crossed the line. It was a Friday afternoon. The cafeteria was full, voices buzzing, trays clattering. Maya was sitting at her usual spot, eating in silence. Corey, fueled by his crowd, strolled over and tapped her shoulder. She looked up. Without warning, he reached for her necklace. "What's this?" "A lucky charm." "Looks cheap," he mocked. Before she could react, he yanked it hard. The chain snapped. The charm hit the floor and slid under the table. Laughter erupted from their group. Time stopped for Maya. She stared down at the broken chain in her hand, her fingers trembling not from fear, but fury. That necklace wasn't just metal. It was her memory, her promise to her mom, her anchor. The humiliation, the disrespect, the grief, it all surged at once. Corey leaned in, still laughing. "Ah, did we hurt your feelings?" Maya stood up slowly. Her eyes weren't watery, they were sharp, focused. She stepped back, gave herself space. "You shouldn't have done that," she said, voice calm but cutting. Corey raised an eyebrow, or what? What happened next happened so fast, most of the students didn't even catch it. With a swift step forward, Maya grabbed Corey's wrist in a defensive lock and twisted it, sending him stumbling to the ground with a yelp. He tried to get up, but she swept his feet from under him and planted her stance. Brielle screamed, fumbling to grab her phone. Marcus lunged, but Maya ducked, blocked, and used his momentum to spin him off balance and onto a nearby bench. Gasps filled the room. No punches. No rage. Just precision. Technique. Control. The lunchroom monitor rushed in, but it was already over. Corey sat on the ground, groaning, completely stunned. Maya stood calmly, picking up the broken necklace charm and placing it gently into her pocket. The principal was called, of course. There was a meeting, footage was reviewed, statements were taken. But something unexpected happened. Witnesses, students who'd never even spoken to Maya, came forward to support her. Dozens vouched that she was provoked, harassed, and targeted for weeks. Even teachers admitted they'd overheard cruel comments. The school didn't suspend her. In fact, they apologized. But what mattered more was what happened in the days that followed. Students began greeting Maya in the hallways. A few even asked her to teach them self-defense. Corey and his crew. They avoided her completely. Their egos were shattered, not by violence, but by a girl they assumed was powerless. Maya didn't brag. She didn't tell the story. She simply got her necklace fixed, and started wearing it again. This time, it shone brighter, because now, everyone knew what it meant. the phoenix didn't just rise. It defended its flame. And from that day on, Maya was no longer just the quiet girl. She was a reminder that strength isn't always loud, and that sometimes, the strongest voice is the one that speaks through action, not words.